Hi everyone, welcome back for another process video. Today this is another layout that I did at the crop that I went to way back in March. I only have a few of those videos left, so I'm definitely going to have to start getting scrappy at home. Literally, I have not scrapbooked at home since still February. I've been busy. If you saw a couple videos ago, I've just went on this organizing kick, and oh my gosh, I have gone through so much stuff and I'm really excited. I feel like I'm really getting organized. I'm going to get some old stuff used up. That I basically took a lot of my old stuff, like maybe 10 years old, and I made little kits out of what I liked out of them, and what I don't like I'm just getting rid of. So it's been pretty exciting. So this is an older jelly bean soup collection, and I think it's called alphabet soup. So one of the pages was this border strip page, and I'm just trimming out a couple of the borders that I want to use. And then I also liked this side with the all those alphabet letters on it, and then also this yellow pattern paper with all the stars. I'm just trimming down. I don't think I really measured. I just knew that I want a piece larger than my photo, and of course the border strip was already pre-cut, so I just had to cut it, or pre-sized, so I just had to cut it. So I'm going to go through the rest of the papers here, and I am going to ink all of my edges with my black Close to My Heart ink. I'm going to ink just about everything on this layout except the stars that I put on the layout, but no big deal. You'll see that later. But anyway, so now, oh yeah, and I'm also going to trim off a little piece of this border strip that I didn't cut it too well, so just trimming that off, and then I'm going to ink the edges of this blue one and the red one. So yeah, I have just been really busy. Today is actually my son's 14th birthday. He's at school right now, so I thought I'd take the chance to get this video ready to upload tomorrow. And then June is going to be crazy. My daughter's graduating. Some of you may know that already. I am going to do my best to stay on track, but please forgive me till the end of June if I'm not really on track with my videos, because it is going to be a couple crazy months. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue down my borders first. And if you can see there, I actually glued that blue border so it went off the left hand side of the page a little bit, and now I'm going to glue the red one so that it goes off the right hand side of the page a little bit. And that's just for a little something fun, just a little added interest, so it's not the same as, you know, just so it's just just a little something different. So then I'm gluing down that yellow pattern paper piece, and I wanted it to cover up just a little bit of the red border, but I didn't want it to cover up everything. So now I'm going to start going through my embellishments. Oh yeah, I also found I wanted the picture to stand off of that yellow pattern paper just a little bit more than it was. So I just found this one with the planets on it, and I glued it in a spot where you can't really see the planets. You can see the white lines a little bit, but it's not that big of a deal. So I just mounted it on that just to give it a little bit more of a pop up off the yellow. And this is just a photo of my son when he was in 5th grade. This is the son that is now in 8th grade and turning to be 14 today. So that's another thing that when I was going through all my stuff is I'm starting to organize all their school stuff and getting a bunch of school kits together so I can start getting more of their school pages done. My daughter is graduating. I was thinking I was going to try to get a bunch of her school layouts done, but I don't want to like stress about it and push myself into doing it. So I mean, she's not taking the albums anywhere. She's not moving out anytime soon, so I'm not worrying about it. I'll maybe at the party, at her graduation party, I'll put out what albums I do have done for her, but other than that, I'm not going to worry about it. So anyways, I am just going through all the ephemera pieces now, and there are a bunch of these really cute stars, and I really like the stars. I feel like I really like all the ephemera in this pack. it's a lot of really fun school themed stuff. And so I really had fun looking through all of these pieces and picking out which ones I wanted to use. And you can see there that I have those 2 pieces up, or actually 3 now, up in the top right hand corner, and that is going to be a cluster area up there. And these stars, I was talking about the stars, I really like them, but a lot of them came with you can see that they're like empty on the inside, and a lot of their pieces are still stuck inside. So I'm going to take some time on almost every star to have to dig out the inside pieces, but that's okay. And you can see me here. I'm taking my little scissors. When you have die cut pieces, sometimes they have those little knobby things. I do not like those knobby things. I'm very against the knobby. I have to cut them down. Sometimes if I'm inking it and you can't really tell, then it doesn't bother me, but they were very prominent on these die cuts. So I'm going to take just a couple extra, it just takes a couple extra seconds to glue each one down. So I am going to glue down some things just flat to the page in each cluster, and I'm also pop dotting some things up in the cluster. So in the top right corner, that study zone sticker or die cut piece I just glued flat to the page, and then those that other saying and the green push pin, which I like the way those push pins look. Those turned out really both of those I popped up on some foam tape. And so in each cluster I'm going to add a little bit of dimension with something popped up. So here you can see me digging out more of those stars, this is part of the reason I didn't bother with inking the stars. I could have inked the edges and it would have been fine, but I just didn't care. You know, it doesn't matter if some things are inked. Nobody's going to look at your page and say, oh my gosh, that's not inked, and everything else is. So now I'm going to go ahead and glue down my photo. Since I have started the cluster in the top right, I kind of know how I want the page to go, and I'm liking how I had the cluster in the bottom left. If I was thinking straight, I wouldn't have pushed it all the way off of the page into the pile of ephemera pieces, but I wasn't thinking about it. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this globe piece down, and I'm just going to glue it flat to the page. And then there's this another die cut piece here, and I'm just going to pop this one up on some foam tape. And while I'm doing, excuse me, while I'm doing all of my clusters, I'm also trying to keep in mind, I really like the sayings and stuff, and I like the stars, but I'm also trying to keep in mind the colors. I'm trying to keep, spread the blues in each corner and the reds in each corner. And so that's just something to think about when you're building the clusters, is to maybe bring the colors around to each cluster and not all the same color. Although it would be kind of neat to do a page with, I wonder how that would look, to do a cluster of like yellow in one corner, cluster of red in another, and cluster of blue in another. It might be something fun to try. Maybe I'll have to try that. But so then there was a star sticker. I do have this sticker sheet that goes with the collection, and I put that green star down in the cluster on the left. And that blue star I really liked, but when I had it above the photo, it was just, it's like it really drew your eye right there to that spot, and I didn't really care for that. So now to glue these stars down, because they are so thin, I'm just using my tiny glue dots. And one thing to do, if you need a piece of a glue dot, you can see me here. If you just need one glue dot, one trick you can use is just the edge of your pointy scissors to take the glue dot off and add it to wherever you need it. That helps rather than using your fingers. Sometimes it just helps because your fingers are bigger, and so that's just a little trick for you there. So then there was this Too Cool for School saying die cut, and I liked it quite a bit. So I decided I think I'm going to go ahead and add a cluster down in the bottom right hand. It's kind of more central than it is to the right, but so I liked that. And then there was this tab sticker, and this is something new for me. If you saw me just a second ago, I put that red tab sticker. Normally, something like that would drive me nuts not to have the tab like sticking out from behind a pattern paper, but I really liked it. And so I'm just leaving it there for now. It's not glued down or anything, but I wanted to see how I felt about it, and it does end up staying there, and I really like how that looked. I was happy that I could use something in a different way like that. So that was kind of neat. So as I'm gluing the stars down, if you can tell up in the top right hand corner, oh, hang on. Sorry about that. I never remember to look at my clock to see when it's going to go off. So what I was saying, if you can tell, the star that's up in the top right hand corner, I made it so it goes off the edge of the page, and I will come back in a few minutes and trim that off. And I really like the way that looks. I feel like it makes it look continuous past the page, and it just gives a little bit more added interest. So here I am gluing another star down, and I'm going to tuck this one behind the photo. Again, it kind of just gives a little bit more interest to it rather than the whole star being there on the side. So back down to this cluster here, I'm going to pop dot the "Too Cool for School" saying up, and I'm going to glue that down along the bottom. I kind of like how it sits along the bottom, flush with the bottom. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue down this star, and then this little science beaker thing, whatever you call those. They did a lot of science stuff in 5th grade, so I was happy to anything kind of sciencey. I was trying to put things on here that matched him in 5th grade, but I didn't worry about it too much, just a little bit. And you can see my little pile of pop dot backings there on the right hand side. So I used a lot of dimensional adhesive, but now here again, I'm going to cut off all the little knobbies and try to cut out the inside piece of the star, because again, they were really stuck in there. Luckily I had my good pointy scissors. So again, I'm going to take this star here and put it so it goes off the page. And then I'm not going to waste the backs of those stars. The blue one I'm going to try to use. You will see me in just a minute, but it didn't work. But I'm going to take the yellow. Oh, first, see here, I took another glue dot off with my scissors, and I just glued the 2 edges of the star that didn't have glue on them because I cut them off of the edge, you know. So I'm going to take this yellow piece that's from the cut off part of the star from the top, and I'm going to just add a couple pieces of adhesive and make it look like it's coming off the left hand side of the page. So that's another way to stretch your supplies a little bit. If you take it off the side of the page, then you can still use what you took off. So you can see here I'm trying to use the blue one, but the other piece of the blue star was just way too tiny and wasn't going to work. So now again, I'm just looking through more of the die cut pieces to see what I might want to add around. I really had fun playing around with all the die cut pieces in this. I know I probably said that already, but it was a lot of fun. I enjoy doing school layouts. I think all the die cuts and stuff, I mean, everything can pretty much go on the page, and it's fun. So there was another blue star, and again, I put it down here at the bottom so that it would go off the edge of the page. And so now there's a star in each cluster that's going off the page, so that really helps add some interest. And then there was just a couple more of these die cut. It's like, you know, a notebook and an apple, which are, of course, school themed. So I'm going to put them there on the right, and they're not really touching, and I didn't really worry about any of the rules or things touching or anything like that. I just kind of played and had fun with this layout. So I'm looking at my enamel dots, and originally I was thinking maybe a blue and a red and a green one in each cluster, but I am going to end up just putting the red ones. And I'm going to play around because I'm going to put 3 in each cluster, and it's going to leave me with just a couple left on this enamel sticker sheet. So I am going to try to add those around to the page a little bit more, but I didn't like the single dots here and there. I didn't like having the clusters of 3 and then just having a couple single dots. It was kind of throwing me off. So I'm not going to end up adding those extra single dots. So here's where I'm just finishing up with this cluster, and this is where I'm trying to add those extra dots. Like I said, there wasn't enough to really add another cluster, and so I just thought maybe putting 3 around, but I just didn't like it. So And I just keep my enamel dots in these little Ziploc bags in my crop bag. I have some in my drawers at home, which you've probably seen, and then these ones I just keep in my bag so that I always have enamel dots with me at my crops, because you know I love my enamel dots. So now I'm just taking a look to see if there's any last minute things that I want to add. I know that I want to add the date. I don't know why, I can't remember why I didn't use these stickers. Maybe they didn't have numbers or something, but I put that green arrow above the photo so that I could add the date to this layout, which I think I don't end up doing in the video. I had to do it when I got home, I believe, so I could remember what the date was. So now here is another star that I found, and I'm going to add it, and I'm just adding some, again, my pop dots or glue dots on there. And I played around with it. I felt like I needed a star in that area there. It just felt like it was the only area without anything. So yeah, I went ahead and added the star, and then just the extra piece of the star that was below. I tried it up at the top, but I didn't like it. So that is my layout, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for bearing with me. And here is the layout. I hope you guys have a great weekend. And thanks for watching. Bye.